In the hospital, Cook entered into his cabin and first checked the camera footage. Cook was surprised seeing her in the turtleneck full-sleeved t-shirt. And the next moment when was called to the CEO's cabin, she paused for a moment and took her phone out, dialed Cook's number. "Hey, I'm a little busy for the evening rounds. Please?" Jungkook looked at the monitor. It was clear that she was trying to make herself busy, but she was studying the cases from some time, so he didn't force her. "Okay, see you at night. In my place?" A drop of tear escaped as she stretched her back a little due to the pain, when became conscious a little. "Are you in the hospital?" Cook. "I think so," Wen whispered in shaky voice. "Love you." Cook chuckled. "Whichever one of us should finish first will wait for the other, and I guess you will be the one this time who will be the last. Don't worry. I will be waiting for you, gladly, at the gate of the hospital. But what will everyone say if they see us together?" Cook. "That can be thought of later. Concentrate in your work, princess." When? Bye. And the call was disconnected, but Cook's eyes were still fixed on Van's actions. He was noticing carefully the way she was continuously trying to suppress her pain. Van took the respective files and went for the evening rounds, wearing a warm smile, trying her best to hide her mental and physical condition. She completed her rounds as well as her shift too, and her heart started pounding as it was time to go home. Incoming call from Cook's number flashed on her mobile screen. Van, 여보세요. Cook, done? Van, yeah, just going to change. Cook, waiting for you at the gate. Please make it quick. Van hummed and disconnected the call. After a few minutes, Cookie's eyes brightened, seeing Van. She gestured him to open the door, and quickly she hopped into the passenger seat. Cook, Van, seatbelt first. Van hissed in pain as she leaned on the back of the seat to fasten the seatbelt, and obviously Cook noticed that. He was still trying to be calm as his inner self was getting impatient to know why Van was behaving so weird. Cook broke the silence while driving. "What happened to you, Van?" Van startled as she had been caught doing something wrong, but after a few seconds she managed to reply him. "Nothing." Cook, by the way, looking gorgeous, princess, in black. Van managed to smile but awkwardly. "Thank you." She closed her eyes as it started pulled up with tears, and she didn't want to ruin their last trip to home together. Coming in front of his place, Cook hit the brakes hard and looked at Van's expressions. He noticed she was in pain. It was quite obvious that the pain was physically. At the same time, her mental pain was also obvious, but she was still trying to suppress it continuously. No, he was not feeling insecure beside Van now. He was more worried as he was quite used to with Van's behavior of sharing only happy moments with other while her tendency of suppressing her pain in herself. He wanted to vent his anger but controlled cause he knew she would rather die in pain but won't share it. He parked his car in front of the house and got out of the car. Van also got out of the car and followed him. She was continuously regretting for her decision of not fighting back with Miss Kim. Cook unlocked the door and raised his arms for a welcome back hug. "Cook, how was the day?" Van, "Not bad." Cook could feel how she was continuously trying to suppress everything in herself, and it almost broke the limits of his patience. As he tapped on her shoulder, she hissed in pain. Cook frowned, but now he knew what to do next. He knew how to melt her into his embrace. He brushed his lips on her soft yet pale lips and gently kissed it. "Cook, me back, otherwise I will forget that there are switches to off the lights." But Van wanted to be kissed. She wanted to be treasured by him for next few moments, and unconsciously her tears were flowing down to her cheeks. "Cook, okay, Don't regret, princess. Van, but I'm on Cook. It would be awesome, don't you think? You are looking extra attractive in this turtleneck t-shirt. I just want to taste your neck, princess. I guess it have no connection with your. I just don't want to resist myself. Van, uh, I'm hungry. Cook, me too, but we are coming from a hospital. After all, don't you think we should change first together? Without wasting a single second, Cook removed his overcoat and stepped towards Van. Cook, your baby CEO has not been treated as a baby throughout the whole day by the whole world. Please help me to change my clothes. Van. He took her hands and placed on his chest. Unbutton my shirt, princess. Van's consciousness was continuously provoking herself about her blue and purple marked back, but Cook's seduction was way more powerful, so she couldn't but ended up by giving up herself in Cookie's embrace. Cook placed his fingers to raise her chin to make a strong eye contact. That's my princess. Now do your work, he whispered in his seductive voice while nibbling her earlobe. She started unbuttoning his shirt while Cook managed to take off her overcoat. Cook, isn't it hot? Why don't I help you with your clothes? I guess I should. And his hand traveled all along the hem of her t-shirt and it was gradually being pulled in upward direction, almost exposing her wounded back, leaving her only in the camisoles. He threw her t-shirt in somewhere in the room. Cook, you look great in black, but I guess you didn't wear the black turtleneck full-sleeved t-shirt just to hide your these colorful wounds? One lowered her eyes. Cook yelled, "Look at me, damn Van. Don't dare to break the eye contact, or nobody's gonna be worse than me. What happened? How? How did your back hurt like this?" Van, I knew this would happen to me. Even if it is for a few days, being the king's queen, I had to endure the pressure of the crown. Cook, how did it happen? When I'm hungry. Cook, wanna avoid me? When I'm hungry. Cook, who made the bruises on your back? When this is my body and I'm not supposed to answer your every damn questions. Cook, then why didn't you take care of your this body? When now I'm all bruised and broken, will you still accept me? Cook, what do you think? How long will you test my patience? You have always wanted to get rid of this relationship. If I was at your place, I would not dare to open my mouth. When do you know what is trust? You never wanted to be loved. You never let your adoptive parents to love you. You resisted me to love you. But don't forget, the ring is embracing my finger. Obviously, I want the body you have let someone to bruise. Don't dare to speak a single word. Wine didn't dare to utter a single word and just laid on the bed. Cook hovered over her, and though he was gasping in anger, but the view of her amazed him. Cook wanted to be rough on her, but he ended up with gently rubbing his stubbles on her bare neckline. He gently sucked the skin to mark his territory. He gently moved down to her and sucked her. Cook looked at Van's face. She was trying her best to suppress her. Cook, tell me, princess, whom do you belong to? And he, Van, you, Cook, good. And for your kind information, it was just a trailer. Don't test my patience, otherwise. He took the ointment from drawers and tied up her hands. He gently made her lay on her stomach and applied the ointment on her bruises. And Van hissed in pain but tried her best to suppress. Cook, you should obey your baby CEO, princess. I only love to be babied by you. Don't trigger my senses, dear. He gently blew her bruises. The cooling effect of the ointment made her shiver, but she didn't dare to do so. She just closed her eyes tightly and gulped down an amount of saliva. Cook tied her legs to prevent further movement of her. Princess, I'm going to cook for us. Don't dare to move, let the ointment to be penetrated. And from today, you are only allowed to wear my clothes. Only my clothes. It was a long, hectic day. Don't dare to do anything. If you want to take a nap, you can. Van turned around her face and their eyes met. She could feel his glare. It felt so terrible, like his glare pierced her soul, and soon she could hear the sound of utensils. Cook, dinner is ready. Come on, get up. Van, whose hands and legs both were tied, remained silent, but her tummy sneered. Cook was tired as hell, but as he looked at Van, his anger melted like chocolate. He took her into his embrace after untying her. He carried her into his arms. Van, may I put on some clothes? Cook, do you have something backless? Van, yeah, one t-shirt. Cook, oh, I forgot. I have substituted all your clothes with mine. Would you mind to have a t-shirt? Van, please, it's too uncomfortable. Cook helped her to put on his t-shirt and made her seated on the chair. Eat it. His voice was gentle, full of love and care. Van, aren't you angry on me? Cook, I am, so don't talk while eating. Just finish your portion. Van and Cook both finished their portion of food and laid on the bed after switching off the lights. Cook took off her t-shirt. Try to sleep on your stomach. He applied the ointment as it was soaked by the t-shirt. Van wanted to be cuddled, but Cook didn't even bother to look at her after that. Van was about to pull the blanket, but Cook snatched it. Van, it's cold, please. Cook, being a doctor yourself when you didn't treat your own bruises, you must endure the chill, princess. Van, I'm sorry. Cook, you're sorry not gonna remove the marks of bruises on my fiance's back. I'm tired. Don't make another sound. Endure the pain like you were doing through the whole day and don't disturb me. At the end of the day, Van's guilt feeling took her sleep away. She was hurt and she couldn't even cry. Soon, tired Cook fell asleep and his soft snores filled the room. Van got up silently and put on her clothes first. She switched on the lights of the living area and started packing up her things. Cook woke up and opened his eyes and couldn't believe that Van was actually packing up her things, but he decided to stay quiet and kept watching her actions. He could sense that she was crying and both her physical and mental wounds were cause of her tears, not knowing the fact that he was indirectly the reason of her bruises. After packing up all her belongings, she entered into the bedroom, their bedroom where they used to live happily. Cook could see that and quietly closed her eyes and pretended to be asleep. When touched the blanket on him gently, being completely aware of the fact that she would not wake him up. She whispered in lower tone, Be happy, Cook. Be happy with Miss Kim. She is prettiest and princess in real life. I guess I only deserved the marks on my back for loving you. Thank you so much for letting me to live as your fiancé. Thank you so much for accepting my ring. Thank you so much for being such a sweetheart. I guess we were meant for this much journey. Love you, Cook. She silently walked out from his place with all her belongings. Cook had no idea about what Van was going through, but her last confession made everything crystal clear. He couldn't stop his tears from flowing down. He somehow managed to message his driver to follow Van, who was still waiting on the road for her cab. And he eventually got ready and followed his driver's location. And he guessed it right. Van was going to the airport. His heart ached when he realized that he behaved so roughly with her. He was continuously blaming himself for that. Maybe that stupid girl would not run away from home at the darkest hour of the day. He's still trying to digest the fact that how could Miss Kim be so heartless? Even if she had hurt her being moved by her immature emotions, but as a doctor, she must be that much responsible. And following his driver's location, he reached at Incheon International Airport, where Cook's driver was eyeing on a van, and soon Cook met his driver. Cook, where is she? Cook's eyes followed his driver's index finger's direction, and he found Van, who was sleeping, occupying a seat. Cook, do you know where she is going? Cook's driver, India. Cook, but why India? Cook's driver. As per our information, she was informed that her brother's adoptive parents live in India, and coincidentally, you already have a ticket booked in the same flight for your pre-scheduled meetings in there. Cook, what's the status of her ticket? Cook's driver, I have requested your manager to bring your documents and luggage, and Dr. Van's ticket is confirmed economy class 1. Cook, upgrade it. Cook's driver, requested, sir, but needs some time. Cook flinched as he saw Miss Kim walking towards Van. Cook, what's she doing here at this hour? Is she going to? Cook's driver, no, sir, there's no information like that. Please take this earpiece, sir, to hear their conversation. Cook put on the earpiece. Miss Kim, what did you think, Van? Do you want to show your greatness by not sending me any documents? Where should I send the money?